I play a lot of online games. I mean, I'm a gaming personality on YouTube, and I have a community that revolves around gaming and all sorts of other things, but primarily gaming, right? So I've played a lot of online games, and nothing scary has ever happened to me with knowing other people in gaming, although I have had some pretty reactive trolls that I've seen over time. Nothing that really scared me enough. But it's a popular theme in horror stories right now, especially with things like Among Us, you know, with all the imposters stuff. But today we're gonna react to a couple of online gaming horror stories from MJV Animations. Make sure to subscribe to him, subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, and let's get into this one. I like that little gaming music. Kind of spooky. Sea of Thieves. This is a multiplayer online game that involves
Being a
pirate
girl
ships
who
and
plays
stuff.
video games can be pretty tough sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Note that I said girl who plays video games and not bloody gamer girl, since that term seems to be now irrevocably associated with dirty bathwater and a Twitch thought turned scam artist. That's just one of the things you get. Others just assume you're trash at the game because of what's between your legs.
Right.
The only time I ever get any real respect from guys is when I prove I'm actually good at the game we're playing.
There you go.
Not that all guys are like that. I'd actually say that most don't really care that I'm a girl, but when it gets bad, it gets really bad. And sometimes, that's all it takes to ruin the experience for me completely.
Of course.
But there was one incident that occurred while I was playing online that put me off gaming entirely for quite a while.
Okay.
This is the story of Twi'lek Zane. I met Twi'lek Zane one night on Sea of Thieves.
Alright.
For those that don't know, Sea of Thieves is an awesome multiplayer game where a crew of 2 to 4 players take control of their very own pirate ship.
Mm-hmm.
I was a huge fan of the Disney Pirates franchise when I was a kid. Still am, I suppose. So the idea of a game like that was hugely appealing to me.
Sure.
I had a lot of fun on Sea of Thieves, for a while anyway. Until one night I found myself on a ship with a crew member called Twi'lek Zane.
Mm-hmm.
Zane, as we'll call him, was nice at first. He seemed a little surprised to find himself sailing with a real-life girl.
Okay.
But a lot of people are and just get over it pretty quickly.
Right.
Zane seemed like one of those guys. Kinda quiet, but perfectly nice otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of faded into the background for the most part, being overshadowed by much louder, more extroverted crew members that ran around showing off their pet parrots and playing their musical instruments.
Time, man.
At one point, after fighting a ship full of skeleton pirates, I needed to regenerate some health.
Right.
So I go below deck to our little food barrel and pick out a few pineapples to nom on to get myself back to full strength.
Okay.
I made a remark to the guys about eating all the ship's pineapples and how it was making me hungry in real life.
Sure.
They asked what my favorite food was, and my reply is probably in line with like 80% of people everywhere.
Pizza.
Pizza, I told them. This sparked off a little debate on ship when one of the crew threw the question out there.
Pineapple
How do you
on
feel
pizza?
about pineapple on pizza?
I knew it was coming.
Now, unlike most of civilized society, I actually kind of liked Hawaiian pizza.
Oh, no.
I just can't resist the whole sweet and salty thing that it has going on.
I hate it.
But when I tell them that, this sparks off something of a mutiny. The 2 louder crew members start laughing, and one even jumped off the ship, saying he refused to sail with someone who liked pineapple on pizza.
That troll.
It was funny, sure. We had a few laughs. All the while, Twi'lek Zane stayed quiet, not saying a word as we had our little bit of banter.
Okay.
About 45 minutes go by, and I'm getting hungrier and hungrier, so I tell the guys I'm about to jump off to go make some food and that I'd be back on afterward.
Alright.
Then I hear my doorbell. Luckily, my flatmate was home, so I didn't have to worry about rushing off to answer it. So I don't really take much notice of the exchange I can hear through my bedroom door.
Sure.
But I did start to take notice when I heard my flatmate's footsteps coming up the stairs to my room.
How did she get doxxed?
As she opens the door,
Did she get doxxed?
I slide off my headphones and there stands my roommate with a pizza box in her hands. It was a godsend to trust my BFF to just know when I was hungry.
Right.
Or at least, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was so hungry that I actually cut her off and asked her if I could have a slice of her pizza, as I was absolutely ravenous.
Mm-hmm.
She looks confused, then says she was about to ask me the same thing. I am beyond confused at this point, so I ask the guys on Sea of Thieves to hold on a minute. I mute my mic, then turn back to my friend. My jaw's on the floor by the time she's finished talking. The pizza delivery wasn't for her at all. It was for me.
Mm-hmm.
What's more, it had been paid for, and the topping was, you guessed it, ham and pineapple.
Oh my God, man.
I felt sick. I told my friend she could have it, that I wasn't feeling very hungry anymore.
Right.
In a confused voice, she thanks me and turns to leave, but asks me if I'm feeling okay before she shuts the door. I just lie, straight up lie, and tell her I'm fine.
Well, yeah.
Just a bit under the weather, I suppose.
You don't want to scare her.
When she shuts the door, I get right back on the PC. It was horrible. I found myself asking a question that I already knew the answer to.
Yeah.
Did one of you guys order me food? The first two louder sailors said no, with one actually laughing at what seemed like such a bizarre question.
Right.
But Twi'lek Zane was silent. His character just stood still on deck, quietly watching and listening as the situation unfolded.
Mm-hmm.
And then he spoke up. Enjoy.
Wow.
Is all he said. I freaked out. I pulled the Ethernet cable out of the back of my computer so hard the connection snapped off and remained in the slot.
Oh my God.
But it was severed, and that's all that mattered. But it was way too late, and that was the worst thing of all.
Yep.
There was no way for me to know just how much information Zane had acquired just from using my Microsoft ID and IP address.
Right.
If he managed to work out my home address, what other information had he been able to dredge up?
If people can do
The only
that,
comfort I could possibly take in the whole thing was that, because of his accent, I knew he was North American.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't rule out the possibility that he was either living or studying in the UK and was actually much, much closer than I first thought.
He could have been very close.
I barely slept the week that followed. Nightmares came every single night. Nightmares in which I'd wake up to a figure standing over my bed, a crooked smile twisting their lips before they pounced.
Oh my God.
I'd wake up crying, bed sheets soaked in a cold sweat, with my roommate rushing into my room to see if I was okay. In the end, I told them everything, and they drove me down to the police station immediately.
Nothing they could do.
There I spoke to an internet safety officer who was overloaded with cases just like mine.
Sure.
But all they could do was tell me to block the person in question, to possibly avoid the same game as them, but generally to carry on as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there was absolutely nothing they could do. And that's what's so scary.
Right.
That maybe the internet will never be a safe place for girls like me.
I mean,
no matter what we do, there will always be people whose predatory attitudes seem to override all normal human feeling.
Yep. Dude. Unfortunately, life is like that, right? People that want to have predatory actions over you will do it, regardless if it's in real life. The internet is just a way for them to access you without actually accessing you, right? They can, there's numerous amounts of reports like this, I'm sure, about online harassment and doxing and stuff like that, and it's a real thing, man. You have to be real careful with who you communicate with on any type of intimate basis, for sure, and what kind of details you reveal about that. I've happened to learn a little bit as I've gone through this online content creation, this adventure that I'm on, and some scary things have happened to me in the past, man. You gotta safeguard yourself, safeguard your family, be real careful, and live your life, you know. So, guys, this was creepy, man. This was really creepy, guys. MJV Animations, make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos too. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.